Okay, good morning. We're going to try to go over doing some training on the RS1s and the new process for the RS1s. This is going to be real informal. If you guys have any questions or anything, you raise your hand or you can put them in the chat and we'll try to answer them. Or if you want to, just unmute yourself. I believe everybody's muted as we go along and just kind of let me know what your questions are. We'll hope to get everything straightened out today and situated. Again, this is just a pilot process. We're going to try this and see how it works. We hope it'll be successful and make things a little bit easier for you guys. So first off, I'm going to show you into Alabama Works. When you sign into Alabama Works, you can go into the staff online resources page. And here you can find the RS1 form template. If you ever really need it, it's right here. And you can use this template here. When you do use it, of course, when you enter any information or data in here, it's the signatures are not going to come up until it's saved. So like, for example, I'm just going to enter some data here and of course the signatures are not there, but once I go in and save it into my system, my computer, go back and bring it back up. And you can see where the signatures come up. So it's going to be available here. Most of you guys, I think, are attending this meeting should be lead clerks. There may be some managers also here. So, appreciate you guys attending. Um, you guys seen the invitation on the process that we'll be doing. Also, I wanted to share with you email that finance has sent beginning July 1st, 2023. ES will no longer be allowed to charge work time to Wagner Pizer 195. Hopefully this will help with RS1 work time confusion. The ES Wagner Pizer positions will be reallocated to 195 positions to Project 205. So I wanted to share that with you as well. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started on the template here that's been created. As you can see, we'll calculate everything in. It'll be a blank template. It'll be up to your lead clerks to create this template and add it accordingly. We can only encourage career center managers to what we think would be easier for them, but we're not at a career center. So we're going to leave that up to any of the managers to determine how they want to do this. One thing that I'm going to do is kind of go over today a suggestion of what you might want to do as a manager. This is something that Rhonda Dyer and Sherry Vickers and I have worked on to try to make this a little easier, an example of how to send this out. So we'll go ahead and get started. Um, what we thought, or I thought, was the best way to do this is to go into your computer, go into your own PC, and create a folder for RS1s. You see here, I have a folder. I go into my folder, and then once you have your folder, you can put each month down in your folder, and you can have your RS1s for your staff. You see, I've got an example here as in your folders. Okay. So this will help you in sending the email out. I think when we sent the instructions for the training, it also had the process that we would be using to send this out. So I've got some examples here, just real short examples. This is a completed template. Of course, I know all the hours aren't in, but the main thing is the signatures, where it's been signed by myself and Sherry Vickers. And then the second one is the same thing, but it's kind of opposite. It's where Sherry has signed and then I've signed, and she signed as my supervisor, or I've signed as her supervisor. But it's the same information basically. So we've got these two, and I mean, for example, I can go into my emails, and let's say I have an email from Rhonda Dyer. And she sent me her RS1 in my email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the email that I sent from that Rhonda sent me on her RS1. I'm going to drag it to my folder, and then it will just carry right on in here into my folder. So, you know, it's kind of hard working with two screens. But anyway, that's what her RS1 would look like. Drag that into my folder, and it would be right here. Now, when I want to send this to finance, I would send it to accounting.finance@labor.alabama.gov. Of course, that is on the that email address is on the template, the new template. So that's very important that you send that email, and you can only send it one time only. So the way you'd want to do that is I'm going to create an email. And I'm going to pretend like I'm finance. Go into my PC, my documents, my RS1s, open it, and I'm going to send these three, the one from Dyer, the one from myself, and the one from Vickers. So I'm going to insert that. And I'm just going to call this test. So all my RS1s will be in one email. They'll be attached separately, but they'll be in one email. So I'm going to send that. I just received it. So let's say I'm on finance, and I just got these RS1s. Now what I can do with this into finance is I'm going to bring up the email. Once I bring the email up, I can go into print, and I can print this email. Now, right here where it says print options, I click this, and you see right here at the bottom where it says print attached files, attachments will print to the default printer only. Okay. I hit print. And what that means is that any attachment that you got with your email, once you bring it up, should be able to print all the attachments at one time. So you don't have to go in there and print two or three different times for your email, your attachments. They should all print at one time. Of course, you can hear my printer running. And that will bring up if your lead clerk wants to print them all at one time just to look, or if there's questions. But that's how that accounting finance will get your RS1. Okay. So that's just kind of a gist of how how it will work. And that's just a suggestion. So now I'd just like to open it if there's any questions. Anybody has any questions on this process? That would be the time to ask.
Kevin, you have a question from Sherry.
Mm-hmm.
Could you show us Rhonda's RS1?
Sure. Let me bring Rhonda's up here. Rhonda's is just a template. Now, this is what Rhonda has done is, and I know this is going to be the question that's going to come up, is the weekend dates. How do we address the weekend dates? There are several ways we can do that. I'm going to leave that up to you guys on how you want to do it. If you want to do the, like Rhonda, she just put the zeros because this is all on a code. So you really can't put an X. It has to be some kind of numerical number. And I think that I can, or Nico can, create a new RS1 each month and have kind of coded to where this is blocked, maybe a colored block or something, kind of like what you was receiving. That's something that we can do. And then we can put it on the Alabama Works Staff Online Resources section, and you guys can take that from there if that's something that you want to do. Or if you just want to just go with the template, leave the template as it is. I'll leave that up to you guys. The next question,
Kevin.
let's see. Yeah, go ahead.
Question from Randy. All RS1s go to finance do all RS1s go to finance after all signatures?
Okay, yes, good question. Your lead clerk is responsible for getting all the signatures for everybody in the Career Center. They all have to be signed and they all have to be sent by the lead clerk to finance at one time. Can't just keep sending one at one, can't send one week, one the next week. They all have to be completed. Now, I know what you're thinking about is the word leave. If you got staff taking leave, you should put that on their responsibility for them to sign their RS1 if they're going to be gone at the end of the month. The leave's already there. It's done been approved, so I don't see why you can't enter that leave in the RS1 and get them to sign it and send it on to their supervisor. So, yeah, they all need to be signed and all need to be done.
Another question, Kevin. Billy Dustin wants to know, why is it that we can only send an email to finance one time?
Because finance they're just like us in the career centers. They don't have enough staff or enough time to print all these RS1s. We're talking about, over 300 or so RS1s coming from career centers. They also have to deal with UI. They have to deal with all the other divisions in ADOL, and they just don't have the staff or the time to just go through every email and print out every RS1 individually. That's why we've got the print option set up to where, and we found that out that finance can just print these out at one time and they can have the paper form. They have to have the paper form. We don't. So what we're trying to do is to save postage and save time and make this process a little bit easier. So.
Another question, Kevin. Kara asked, what is the deadline for the email to finance? Okay, Sarah said the deadline is close of business on the first working day of the month.
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. And also, I think Sarah said that accounting would prefer no information be entered on the weekend dates.
Yes.
So that pretty much takes care of that. Thanks, Sarah. Okay. So, and also the last thing that I wanted to show you, most of these, and let me bring up, I don't know, this one may work. The admin leave, sometimes you'll run into a situation where, and you see where it's calculating, okay, but it didn't calculate here. Okay. The admin leave and some of these others that you're not going to use a lot, comp time, overtime, when you enter something like that, you're going to need to recalculate. So you'll need to go here to your total hours.
Oh, that's crazy.
Take that out, hit enter, and see how it recalculates, because that's really if hours that you don't really use a lot. For annual leave, if I put 8 here, it's going to work. It's going to work fine. But if you ever have a problem with your numbers not adding up down here or up here, always go Take that, back that out and hit recalculate, and it should go to the correct number. Same way with overtime. I think if you go here, you hit 4, see it doesn't change here. Hit enter, and it changes. So it's just kind of another way that some of this stuff, some of these leaves, you just don't use a lot, and it's kind of a catch-22 on that. Okay. We got any more questions on you?
Yeah, one from Rachel. She says, for Area 6 managers, do we send you our RS1s for signature before we send in the folder?
Yes. Area 6 and Area 2, you can send me your RS1s to sign, and I will sign them as a supervisor. I will send them back to you, instructing you to forward them to your lead clerk before you can attach it with the rest of your office.
Got a question from Randy and from Vivian.
Mhm.
Randy, managers' RS1s will be signed separately, forwarded to area manager who will forward to finance or back to manager and then on to lead clerk. Who will forward to finance with group?
Okay.
Okay, he said his was just answered. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah,
Um,
managers that need their area manager signature, they will send it to their area managers. Their area manager will sign it, send it back, and then they will get it back to their lead clerk. And lead clerks can put them in their folder, create a file for it each month. They'll have everything, and it'll be available. And then when they send it, all they've got to do is just choose everybody that's in that folder. Go from there.
Vivian brought up a point about emergencies, people signing on the last day. Or they're not all signed on the day that they need to be signed. So she says, do we hold them until they get all of them signed?
Yes, definitely want to hold them. Just like Sarah said, the deadline is the close of business on the first working day of the month.
Okay.
So if you got emergencies and stuff coming up, the next working day, you should have everything done and signed and then sent that in. The only way that you need to send it in another time is if you get approval from your area supervisor, or if finance sends you an email and asks you to resend something. Okay. Yeah, okay, Randy, mine was just down. Sorry about that, Randy. I didn't scroll down. My bad. Is there any other questions? And we will do this for this month. This will be starting this month. So the July RS1 will not be due till the first working day of next month. Good, good. No other questions. Just wanted this to be short and sweet. Um, just something else that we're trying to do to make things easier for everybody. And we appreciate y'all's patience in this process. If you got any questions, you can always shoot me an email, let me know. Especially on the sheet. I think I told Sarah there's like over 650 to 700 code calculations on this sheet. Sometimes you may have to be patient with entering numbers. You'll see where it kind of takes a second sometimes. The best thing to do is when you enter these sheets, when you do them, save them to your PC first. It makes it faster than trying to enter it through the cloud and saving it through the cloud. I mean, you can put it in the cloud later if you want to, once it's completed and signed. But when you're doing this, definitely want to save the template to your computer, PC, and start from your PC, and then send it out to your staff, your coworkers to fill out. As Steve would tell you, we encourage you to train your staff to do their own RS1, enter their own services, and to train them what their codes are and what their numbers are to enter those services. If you need any help or any further assistance, let me know. Let's see. Any more questions, Anya?
There's some questions come in.
Mhm.
I think Sarah was answered. I think Sarah answered them.
Okay, good, good. Um, Anya, can you hear me?
Yes,
Hey, can you hear me?
yes.
Okay, power went out in Abertville of all time. Great timing.
Oh
But
no.
we're about done. Yeah, I know. It's so I'm not gonna. I don't know. I guess it's my luck. It's Monday. But the power went down here in Abertville, so I'm on my phone. But I think we're done now, pretty much with the meeting. Um, let me see if I can get this up on my computer. It's coming back
And
up.
Heather's also responding too. So I had another situation, so I kind of got sidetracked from that. But it looks like everybody's question was answered.
Okay. Okay.
Angie Kelly asked if you could repeat the information about the 195 time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there'll be an email coming out from the area managers. Again, apologize, technical difficulties, but we all work for ADOL. Anyway, the email that's going to come out basically from Tina Moore says that we'll no longer be allowed to charge work time to Wagner Pfizer 195. I hope this will help with any RS1 work time confusion. The 195 positions that were assigned to 195 will be reallocated to Project 205. So you'll just be using 205 instead of 195. So I'm hoping that we can, I don't even see a reason to put 195 on the RS1 anymore. Okay. Let's see what we got. Is there any other questions? Anya, is there any more questions you can tell?
No, not after Angie's.
Okay. All right, let's see. So we know about the weekends. We can't block them out. Let's see. Coleman completes her own RS1. Great. Good job, Coleman. Thank you, Billy. Managers in areas 6 and 2, you can send them to me. Send your RS1s to me. Heather also helps, but if I need to get it to Heather, I'll forward it to Heather for signature. But there's no need in trying to confuse with two people. Let's see. Okay, I think everything else has been answered. Sarah says, I recommend leaving project codes off the RS1 that are no longer in use. Just put the project codes that you're using, your staff is using. If your staff is doing your RS1 themselves, tell them just to put the codes in there that they use. Okay. Looks like everything else is done. I hope this makes things better for you guys, and I hope it makes it easier for everybody, including finance. Again, if you have any questions, let me know. If not, I hope you guys have a better Monday than I've had so far. Thanks. Bye-bye.